This is Dan Gilman,
And Zach Gazarowski of MyGamer.com.
and this week we're playing Agarest 4 Generation 2. Or Agarest
Uh,
4 2. Agarest Generations 4 2. It's the third game.
on the PC,
Yes.
because this is also on PlayStation 3, right?
Yes, it is. And I also own that one.
This is a game, or I should say a whole series, that I've always seen on the shelf, and I'm always like, I really kind of want to play this.
No, you don't.
It seems like a game that I would like, but I've never actually picked one up.
They're super fucking long and like ultra convoluted, and you have to play through them with a guide for the most part.
These are strategy RPGs?
Yes.
Or are these just like regular straight up RPG, like tactical RPG?
They're tactical.
Like a Final Fantasy Tactics-ish?
Yeah.
So it's not a good game? Or good
It's
series?
perfectly fine.
It's just a little too much.
It's just super fucking long. Like they're 100-hour RPGs. And
And
they're
you
all,
said this is the third. You said this is the third one, but even though it's got a number 2,
yeah, so it goes 102.
they got a 0 in there, throwing things off, huh?
Yeah, this is so you see this more now, but back when it first started coming out, you didn't see it at all. This was a breeding RPG. So like who you uh decided to marry, like who you romance through the story, decided who your child would be, and then like your child would have better stats, and then your child would breed with someone else. So it was like this entire convoluted thing that like you could basically have this terrible grandchild.
Would you? I mean, I like the. I think what's always kind of captured my eye was, the anime art style, but with the 2D sprites.
Yeah.
That's what's always stood. I mean, it's Fire Emblem-ish in that sense. I mean, even though the latest Fire Emblem games, on 3DS, for example, were 3D character models during the battle sequences and stuff, but that art style. That's why I've always like, man, I kind of want to just play this because it looks cool. But in terms of gameplay, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
What's like the general story behind this? Is it like one continuous story between all the games?
I've so forgotten at this point.
Or is it one of those games where the story is there, but it's so just like you don't, so many details, you just don't know what the hell's going on?
It's something to do with the gods.
That's kind of the problem with a lot of these games, is the story just gets crazy. Like, it gets way more complicated than I think things need to be, and it's just hard to follow everything. These Japanese art, maybe it's like a translation thing or something, or maybe just like how you said, it's just so fucking long.
Well, the first one, I realized I was halfway through, and like I looked and I was like halfway through, and I had like 45 hours in the game, and I was just like, nope, fucking done, and stopped playing the game.
Was that
No, that was our
two,
first one.
And that was on. They were all on PlayStation 3.
That one was on Xbox 360 as well.
Oh yeah. But I mean, meaning like last gen. It wasn't on like this doesn't like go back to like PlayStation 1 era or something like that. This is all like last gen. It was born last gen.
Yes.
So you got your it's almost like Mega Man Battle Network, where you can kind of like not freely move around the grid, but because it's not like Final Fantasy Tactics or Tactics Ogre, where there's like different like elevations that you stand on. If you stand on the grass square, you don't get any defense, but if you're standing in the mountain square, you get like +2 defense.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Also, the first thing that you really want to do in this game is fucking turn off all of the battle animations.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Fire Emblem. I watch them the first battle just to check them out, but then after that, I put the text all the way up in terms of speed. I put the battle animations off completely, like the walking animation as fast as you can go.
Yup. Yeah. Because if you don't do that, that's like what happened in the first game, basically, is I just sat through like every battle, and it was like, to do it correctly, every battle would just like drag out, and you would just do combo after combo after combo after combo.
Yeah. Yep.
And it would just like, everyone would just do those like crazy over the top like finishing moves one after another.
Like Knights of the Round every time.
Yeah, it was, basically. And you would just sit there for like 2 minutes for every battle, and then it was just like, fuck it, just turn off every single battle animation.
Yeah, that's the problem with, these games and, like Fire Emblem, and you don't need to see it, for the millionth time. You can pretty much see it once, maybe twice, call it a day.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny because a friend of mine like watched me play Disgaea at one point. He's like, dude, why are all the battle animations off? And it's like, yeah, I played through the entire first game that way, and then I ended up sinking like 300 hours into the second game, and after about...
You have to.
After about 100 hours, I'm just like, I'm turning off all these battle animations.
Yeah.
And I made such better use of my time in that game.
Oh, yeah, you save so... I mean, the time... I mean, you're playing at, like, the third of the time. I mean, it is a significant, speed up. You don't have to wait through everything. You have to turn them off. Yeah, I like strategy RPGs. They're actually one of my favorite, genres of game. I think is the I'm a huge fan of Tactics Ogre, of course, Final Fantasy Tactics. I I want them to make like a brand new Vandal Hearts, but that's never going to happen because Konami doesn't really make games anymore. But I like the SRPGs, as the cool kids know them.
Yeah. I'm like just trying to remember. I know that like, I think you fuck up the world. Like basically, you kill this god, and because you kill him, the world starts to like fall apart.
How far are you into this?
This just started.
Oh, so this is the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
But you played it on PlayStation 3, you said.
Yeah. So the reason I stopped playing it on PS3 is my PS3 died. And if anyone knows anything about a PS3 when they're about to die, the disk drives start acting funny. They like start making noises. The load times get really unpredictable all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So like the entire time I was playing this game, like the last 10 hours was just like this heart-stopping, like nail-biting, what is happening sensation.
And you got it during the Steam sale. How much did you pay?
Probably like $5.
Yeah.
I tried actively during the Steam sale not to pay over $10 for anything.
Oh yeah. I don't. You don't really. I mean, that's not hard to do.
I think I broke that rule like once or twice.
For like a new game or something.
For like games that I actually like super wanted.
Yeah. Well, then it's worth it. I mean, if you're gonna play it.
Yeah.
A lot of times people buy these games for a couple of bucks and then never even play them.
Well, yeah, that's me.
So what is going on here? This is gonna like determine like the rest of your game, like what class you are.
Yeah, like what type of like soul you have or some bullshit.
This is just kind of like I just started playing The Elder Scrolls Online on Xbox One, and I mean it took me, 30, 40 minutes just to figure out which character and class and alliance I wanted to be a part of. You just kind of blindly pick at the beginning, not really knowing what you want to do.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't want to fuck up this first decision because you're going to be playing this game for 20, 40, 100 hours.
Yeah.
And like what you decide right now is going to determine, kind of how you, like, if you're the guy who's good with bows and stuff, then, well, you better be good with the bow. You better plan on using a bow.
For a while.
Or for a while, same thing with like magic and stuff. So you kind of got to like figure out how you want to play the game. It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. It's a lot of pressure. And now we have the intro credits. With like your little J-pop sequence.
Right. Wouldn't be a Japanese RPG without any kind of like an anime opening.
Yep.
You gotta check that bullet point off the list.
The one thing that I remember about this being super annoying is the moment that you change generations, so like you finish and then it's like it's your child's turn to take over the mantle kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And it instantly switches over to like all of the creatures are way more difficult, and it's like 5 hours of grinding. And it's
Is this like halfway through the game when you switch over to your kid or something, or is this?
It's like a third of the way through the game, but it's like 5 hours. It's just like they dump 5 hours of instant grinding on you.
So you're just immediately underpowered then, huh?
Yeah, instantly. And it's like there's this huge difficulty leap, and it's just like, all right, well, you better walk around town and grind. It's like, awesome, thanks, guys.
Yeah. I hate that. I hate grinding. That's what turns me off from a lot of RPGs nowadays. It's just I don't want to take the time to grind. It's like that's why I like Bravely Default so much, because it respects the player's time. But you can speed up battles, and
no, it doesn't.
you could maybe the last half of the game is kind of a repeat, but for the most part, the everyday random battle.
You never beat that game.
I never beat that game, though.
No, that game repeats itself 5 fucking times.
That's what I heard. I got about halfway through, I want to say, and then I just had other things I needed to play.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone did.
Who develops this game?
It's
Ghostlight and Idea Factory.
It's Idea Factory. Ghostlight is the people who did the port.
Why does that sound familiar? They made a ton of PSP games.
Idea Factory?
Yeah.
Idea Factory they also
the Hyperdementia and
yeah,
Neptunia.
they do Neptunia. They do a bunch of stuff.
They got a huge roster of games here. Holy cow!
Yeah. Oh yeah. Idea Factory does a ton of shit.
Jeez. A lot of Vita stuff, at least in Japan.
Yeah. Well, the Vita and the PSP are huge in Japan.
Yeah.
Which is like
much bigger than here, that's for sure.
Well, which is like kind of why I think it's weird that like Sony says shit like, "Oh yeah, we're pretty much abandoning that."
Maybe in America.
Yeah, but they're not releasing any fucking games on it ever again.
They released 3 PSP games last summer in, the beginning of August.
Really?
Yeah, well, in Japan.
Wow. Well, it's like Sony went out of their way to fucking stop production of the PSP because it was cannibalizing the sales of the Vita.
Yeah. Well, it was the same thing with the Wii, because people were still buying Wiis and Nintendo wanted them to buy Wii U, so we're like, well, we're gonna stop making the Wii just so you guys have to buy a Wii U.
Yup. Oh my god, dog! Stop.
Hi, Jenny.
You can clearly hear that we beat her on a regular basis.
Not hard enough.
Yeah, right. It clearly doesn't stick. Pay attention to me!
So, during the how do these battles, you gotta just button mash, or is it just like one attack is one turn?
You have AP points, and every attack uses so many AP points.
Okay.
And
they just regenerate after each turn then?
They can kind of be carried over between turns.
See, that's kind of unique because you got an overhead map, and you got these 2D cutscenes like this, but yet the battles are still grid-based.
Yeah.
It's kind of a. I mean, you don't normally get a strategy RPG. Everything is grid. I mean, look at Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah.
Look at Tactics Ogre. The entire game is how the story is told is through the same in-game engine of the battle scenes, the cut scenes. Everything is the same. Here it's
and it'll seamlessly transition between a battle and a story scene, and
right. Here you got the two different styles.
Yeah. I have no idea why she started barking.
Maybe she's hungry or pissed off.
I would agree, probably with pissed off.
Maybe both. So, do you have to be on the square or the column closest to the enemy to attack if you want to do a melee?
Certain people have to be within a certain range to attack.
Oh, okay. So if you want to use like magic, you can shoot them from the back or something.
Yeah.
And would that then limit the enemy? Could he not physically attack you if you were, say, in the back row? Is that where like the balance is or something?
Yeah, like certain enemies can't attack within certain areas, but then it's just like
So if you were a really strong magic user, and if you stood in the back, could you just cherry pick them and not have them attack you?
Yes, but it's like it's a little more complicated than that, because like you don't have that many like magic like distance users.
So basically though, you just have to be at a certain length away to attack with either magic or physical damage, right? You can't just you already got to camp the front line the whole time. Does that even matter?
Like Wes probably has to be within a certain area of like the front line. I think like once you get like different magic users, they should be in the back so they don't get hit as much. But then like you get enemy magic users too that can cast into the back.
Yeah. Because that's where kind of like if you ever played Mega Man Battle Network, it was on a grid, and if you were up front, you can like use like Mega Man's like saber attack to kind of chop them, or you can kind of shoot a long range gun attack from like the back row, but you got a little more distance between you, so you can like react to shots better and stuff. But this is all turn-based. It's not like Mega Man where you can kind of like move around wherever you want, but then when you attack, that's where the turn-based.
Yeah, like Mega Man, you can play through that entire game without ever getting hit too.
Yeah, right. It's just, I'm trying to look at this as, what makes this game different, what makes it more unique, but this game seems to have its own flair
So how far did you get into that did you fall into that Mega Man hole?
Oh, the Mega Man Battle Network?
Yeah, how many?
I played Mega Man Battle Network 2 Blue version when it, first came out, or shortly, not when it first came out, but it was probably, Mega Man Battle Network 3 was probably out at the time, and then I bought Mega Man Battle Network 2 in a clearance bin for $10 or something.
Yeah.
And I liked it, because it was different, it was unique. I never finished it, but I thought it was pretty cool.
Damn it!
Beat the dog.
Yeah, no, I just No, I wasn't beating the dog. I just opened the door and did it. What is going on? Look at her. And she just tilted her head to the side, and I'm like, God, you're a dog.
Yeah, nobody's attacking you.
It's just occasionally you do have to open the door when the dog is barking and be like, wait, is someone trying to rape you?
Exactly.
Because maybe someone is outside trying to rape my dog.
You never know.
Yeah.
Barking usually indicates, hey, pay attention to this.
Yeah. I mean, It's not beyond the realm of possibility that those guys that escaped from the prison are outside.
Isn't that in New York or something? Or
yeah. It's actually around my hometown up there.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. You can go hang out with those dudes.
Yeah.
See if they want to play some Generations of War 2.
My friend, who does the Saturday morning stream, like the female cop who's being investigated and who got arrested and stuff, he's like, she was like a friend of his father's.
Whoa.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we come from a super small town. I was talking to people at work, and I was just like, yeah, no, the one thing that I heard about this happening that I was like, that I'm actually kind of, like, excited about happening is that, like, I want to know, I kind of want to lurk Facebook and just see, like, when, like, who's getting fired, because it's like prison guard is the #1 job up there.
Oh yeah, I mean these are the dudes who Shawshank Redemption themselves out of the prison, right?
Yeah.
They dug a small hole. They crawled through a sewer or shit or something like that.
Yeah, no, even Stephen King commented on how close this is.
Wonder where they got the idea from, huh? How many people can you get in your party in this? 4?
4, I think.
Yeah. So I pre-ordered my Fallout 4 Pip-Boy edition.
Yeah.
What is your opinion about that?
I was gonna buy it for a friend, but
the Pip-Boy edition or the regular
Pip-Boy edition?
Yeah, I mean everybody, when they first announced it, when it first went online, it sold out in like 4 seconds.
Yeah, everyone wants
Amiibo
Pip-Boy
style. Yeah, and then Bethesda's like, holy shit, we got a huge demand for this. We need to capitalize on this. And then they went back to the drawing board, and who's ever making their Pip-Boys, I'm sure they had a conversation. Hey, can you increase it, by 2 or 3 times the amount? And because Best Buy and GameStop, they posted yesterday and even today, and Amazon, more pre-orders for the Pip-Boy edition. So I was like, well, I better just buy this because I'll probably regret it later.
You'll want it later.
I've learned the lesson the hard way is if you ever see something like that and you miss your opportunity to buy it, you're going to be like, maybe I'll wait, blah, blah, blah. Usually you kick yourself in the ass later. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. So I got that.
Know. I'm kind of off of collector's editions.
Normally they don't really, I'm like, oh, I can really do without this Batman statue and, things like that. Whereas like this, it's a fucking Pip-Boy. Like that's crazy. Like it has to be something pretty extreme. So Pip-Boy edition, I got that. I'm excited about it. And then the other thing that I pre-ordered, 3 months ago or whatever was the limited edition of Metal Gear Solid 5, where it comes with the hand, Snake's hand. So that's really cool. So I mean, like that, I need to have that piece of junk, But normally, I maybe I'll get like, the $70 version of the game that comes in like a metal case and a bunch of like extra DLC, like bonus exclusive DLC or something like that. But normally, I can do without spending, getting $120 limited edition.
Yeah. I remember when they first started doing that shit on the 360, or even the PS2 with like metal cases and stuff, and I was like, $10 more for a nifty metal case, sure. And then it was like literally, like a little bit into the 360.
It's only grown from
the 360 era. It literally there was this this thing that came out in the magazine that companies were like, no, we increased the price to $60 because everyone was buying the limited editions at $60, so we knew that we could. And it's like they straight up said that, and I'm like, I think I'm done buying limited editions of stuff.
Yeah, I'm more into, hey, if you pre-order it, we'll give you this little bonus thing
Yeah.
for free. Like good examples like the last couple of Halo games. Hey, if you pre-order it at GameStop, we'll give you the download code for a stupid skull. Okay, fine. I was gonna buy it anyway. I might as well pre-order it.
I hate buying shit at GameStop though.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know. We know that you don't like GameStop.
Yeah, I really don't fucking like GameStop.
They started selling old games. I posted a news story about
Yeah,
that.
they're actually one of the cheapest places to buy a lot of games.
Yeah, I mean, it's prices that you would expect. I mean, they're not smoking deals. They're not astronomical.
They're
a
lot better than going on.
They're pretty much on par with.
They're better than going on Amazon. In all honesty.
Well, yeah. Oh, Amazon, sure. I mean, you gotta if you want to, snipe eBay, maybe Craigslist or something. Just try to. But that's hit or miss. That's really random. But here, it just makes the purchasing process easy. I think you could still use your 10% off discount thing because all these games are used. But I haven't bought anything yet, so I don't know. Obviously, you're not going to be getting the case. You're not going to get the instruction manual. But I'm curious to see the quality of these. Like, where do they get them from? Like, how did they just like keep them in a warehouse from when they originally had them?
Yeah, like where did these all of a sudden come from?
Or have they just been sniping, bays and garage sales for the last 5 years to like eventually come out with this? Like, how do they get all these?
Well, they've always been selling retro games. They've always sold retro games in certain stores at all times.
Really?
Yes, I know that for a fact. When I worked at GameStop, people would come in looking for old games, and we wouldn't take them in, but...
like N64, Dreamcast?
Yeah, there were you could look them up, and there would be, like, certain places, certain stores in the Midwest that, like, they would be, like, that would just show up with, like, one copy, or, like, a handful of copies of the stuff, and you're like, why do they have this? And it's like, because they're like pilot stores or like they're always testing shit like that out.
Yeah, it makes me think that because they had N64, they had Dreamcast, they had Game Boy, they had everything. They obviously have migrated with the times. It makes me just wonder if we're going to stop selling GameCube games and N64 games, but we're just going to keep them in this warehouse for the next 5-10 years, and we'll re-release them then.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It just seems.
Still, don't trade your shit into them because they give you terrible prices.
Yeah, I mean they had a 50% bonus trade-in value 2 weeks ago, and I traded in my copy of Zelda: The Wind Waker HD on Wii U because I also own the digital version. So I'm like,
you could sell that on Amazon for like $50.
Yeah, so I traded it in at GameStop, and I got, during that 50% sale, and I got $36 or something for it. So I was like, oh,
that's not terrible, but like you can still.
No,
like...
then it's worth it. It just makes it easy because I just use the credit and I just rebuy shit anyway. Actually, I traded it in, and I bought Fortune Street.
How is that?
I haven't. I want to I got to get a buddy over or something to play it at least 2-player. So I think it'd be pretty retarded to play it 1-player. But it was always one of those games like, why did Nintendo even bring this over?
It seems super Japanese.
Yeah, and it's one of a kind. I mean, it's Monopoly mixed with the stock market or whatever. So I got it. They had a used copy. It was in great condition. Had the instructions for $16 or something, $17 maybe, and so I bought it with my Zelda trade-in credit.
Oh my god, dog!
So this is Generations of War because you start off as like you, and then you give birth to your son, and then the game keeps going that way.
Yeah.
So how deep is just like one generation, two generations?
I think it's third generation. This is the first generation.
So basically, like grandpa, dad, and son.
Yeah. The other ones had 5 generations.
Whoa. So how long does this game take to beat then? Like 100 hours.
This one, I think this one's shorter. It's only like 60 to 80. But the other ones are like 100 plus.
That's still a really long game.
It's a super fucking long game. It's a ridiculously fucking long game.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I would rather have like a really great 12-hour game than a drawn out, 60-hour game that's nowhere near as fun.
That's not what I wanted to do.
Oh, so this is how you adjust the formation. This is like where you start?
Yeah.
Is there like bonus attacks or something if you stand next to your guy?
There are only so many formations that you can do at once.
Oh, alright.
Beating the dog for no fucking reason. It's like shit like this that I just like want to call my wife and be like, this is why we can't have nice things.
This is your fault.
This is your fault, honey. What the fuck? I asked so fucking little of you.
So for the people that might be watching the stream, we're going to be streaming an Atlas game. I don't know if we can actually talk about it right yet because there's pretty strict embargoes. We got a pretty decent, speaking of tactical RPGs, maybe I can give that as a hint, maybe?
I think we can talk about it, can't we? Like, we can say what it is.
I think so, right? Anyway, we're gonna be...
There'll be a preview going up next week.
Yeah, we'll get a preview up. We'll stream it early before the game is out. It comes out at the end of July. We can have a preview up almost at the beginning of July. But I'm kind of. It looks. Did you try it out yet or no?
No.
Did you download it yet?
No.
It looks like a pretty cool game. So I'm kind of excited that we're going to cover it. Let alone we get to cover it early. So.
Yeah.
Keep your eye out for that. We'll try to hype it up as if we can, with the stream because they got, like I said, embargoes on a bunch of stuff. But
yeah, but we can't even stream it until like the 22nd.
Exactly. Yeah, right. We can't stream it until the middle-ish of July, but we can only stream the beginning of the game. Yeah, but we can only stream like the beginning of the game. So there's some there's some rules what we can and can't do, but. We got this Atlas game that we're excited to have.
Yeah. Oh my god. Shut up.
It wouldn't be a Japanese RPG if there wasn't a lot of talking.
And all they do is just like blah 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 blah.
That's what's got to just hold up the translation, because there's so much text with these games.
Well, and like a lot of the stuff is just like it just seems like, oh my god, like this. It's just like, I fucking get it.
Yeah, it's a little unnecessary.
There we go.
There you go. Now you got yourself a full team.
Yeah. This game also does like the one of like my like the odder things that they do sometimes in fucking Japanese shit, where it's just like we're gonna be as terrible a human beings as we can fucking manage to like one group of people. And it's like, alright, so when we let you die a terrible death, don't feel bad.
You mean just in story-wise? They just do
Yeah,
crazy
like
stuff?
story-wise, like there's just like a group of people that it's just like they're just like completely fucking awful for no reason, and it's just like, all right, so I'm just gonna let you guys fucking die because fuck y'all.
You can just skip everything. You just hold down the button, and just skip all this conversation.
Well, no, there's actually a button you can hit that will do it.
Oh. Look how long this is, even if you got it on auto.
Skip, yeah. Yeah, a lot of this shit is just like, shut the fuck up!
And just like a regular RPG, they just get experience points after each battle, then you just level
Pretty
up.
much, yeah.
Plus, you can do like a super attack with all your dudes at one time.
Yeah, if you overbreak them. Yeah. I'm going to skin that dog. She's been so good recently. I have no idea why she's acting out. Must be you. She has a crush on you.
Maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I wouldn't use crush. Maybe she just hates me.
No, she's probably like, oh, it's that sexy, deep-sounding guy again.
Oh, if she only knew.
Yup.
How much does this game normally sell for now on Steam? 20 bucks?
Yeah.
Is this the first one to come out on Steam, though?
No, all three of them. I have all three of them on Steam.
Oh, they're all on Steam. Oh, okay. Because they're all on Steam then, and they all got to be on PS3 then, right?
Yes, but you don't want them on PS3. There's like a weird purchasing order to take. I wish I was making that up.
What do you mean?
Like, you don't want, like, certain ones you actually want to buy on the 360 because they're edited.
Oh. Yeah, I keep forgetting these are also on 360. I thought it was only on. I was thinking they was only on PlayStation. So why does it play? Why does it play better on Xbox?
Because they actually they removed some stuff. Because like they're actually like some sort of like
a censor
thing.
like a censoring thing.
Yeah.
On the PlayStation.
Yeah. Like, there are, like, little girls that... Or, not little girls, but, like, younger-looking women eating bananas that they removed. I wish I was making that up. That's actually one of the things they removed.
That... It almost seems like that would be removed on, like, the Xbox version than the Sony version.
Yeah? No, it's the Sony version they removed it.
Yeah, it's... I wonder why Sony was like, no, you can't do this, and Xbox was like, Microsoft, oh, sure, whatever you want to do.
You got me.
Yeah, weird. There's no online play to this or anything.
There's,
right?
I think there's like a leaderboard. I don't know if it made it over to the PC version.
Yeah. What do you think about the Final Fantasy VII remake?
I think it's hysterical because they frickin' said, like, flat out, we're not doing that. And then, like, instantly fucking turned around and did that.
There were all these reaction videos of people that were like, oh my god, this is the best day of my life, I can't wait.
Really?
People were freaking out. I'm like, have you not played 6?
Have you not played 4?
Have you not played 4? Have you not even played 4? Nobody's played 5, which is a shame, but...
5 was really fucking good.
5 was... Nobody's played... I mean, more people have played, like, 3, because 3 is now... It's on every... it's on... Steam, is on DS, it's on fucking Ouya. So I think more people have played 3, but still nobody's played 5, which is kind of a shame.
Yeah. 5 is really good. It's really fucking long, though.
It's a longer game. It's kind of hard, too, because you got the job system on there.
I played the Game Boy Advance version, which is...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's probably that's the best way to... I played it through when it first came stateside on the PS1. It was bundled with Final... I think it was bundled with Final Fantasy 4. Was it 4 and 5?
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was like... Or no, it was... Or was it 5 and Chrono Trigger? I can't remember what was. Maybe
it
no.
was
I think
like
it was
some really weird.
There was a couple. There was like Anthology. I think it was Anthology, where you got it was Anthology where you got 5 and 6. Then it was Chronology where you got 4 and Chrono Trigger. I think it was.
Yeah.
But they got all those on Android phones now, I think, too. You can get 1 through 6, which you don't really want to play it on your phone, but if that is your only option, and plus they're like ridiculously high price. You got the Square Enix tax on them, so each game is like $27 to download it on your phone.
Yeah, I never understood where they were like, hey, you know what people want to do? Pay $30 for this fucking game.
On their phone.
Yeah. Because, let's look at the price of every other fucking game for a phone.
You can buy like a used Game Boy Advance on eBay, for $30 and play the GBA version.
This makes sense to everyone else, right? Yeah, fucking, Square just needs new management, is what it is.
That's how they roll, man.
It's not even like the fucking get off your fucking high horse anymore. It's literally just, you guys have no fucking idea what people who play your games even want.
Tomb Raider. We're going Tomb Raider and we're going Deus Ex, which I kind of like. I liked the last Deus Ex. That was a good game.
And you heard the huge thing that happened about that, right? Because the tagline for this one is like mechanical apartheid.
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah, that's like a
What is
thing. You know what apartheid is, right?
Partai?
You don't know what apartheid is?
Like party?
No, like South Africa, like the separation of blacks and whites, apartheid.
I have never heard of that.
Okay, whoever taught you history in high school was a terrible teacher.
Or I just didn't pay attention.
Yeah. So basically they used that, and there was this huge backlash that they're like, oh, how dare you, like, compare video games to, like, this, like, thing that, happened in, the very recent, the recent past. And it's like, and, like, everyone was, like, flipping out about it, about how video games needed to grow up and everything, and how this was a perfect example of, like, people not taking gaming seriously, and not knowing what they were doing, and only a white person would do something so insensitive. And the guy came out and was like, fuck you all, I'm black?
I didn't hear any of this.
Oh yeah, it was like this like insane bullshit thing that it was just like everyone was flipping out about the language that was used in it, because they were like, oh god, this is just so offensive to black people. And the guy's like, I don't think so, and I wrote it.
What about Shenmue 3?
Yeah, that Kickstarter got funded, but they said if you want it to be an open world game like the other ones, it's going to end up, you're going to need to fund it like $10 million.
Yeah, I was never really a fan of Shenmue, so I don't really give a shit.
Did you play the other Shenmue games?
I tried playing one.
Okay.
On Dreamcast, and I didn't care for it.
Those games needed a strategy guide.
Yeah, my buddy beat it, and he had a guide. And he was like, dude, I like this game, it's awesome. And then I was like, no.
That was... I played 2.
See, that's weird, because not a lot... I mean, 2 was on the original Xbox? It was like ported over or something? It wasn't like
It was also
real...
on the Dreamcast. It came out on the Dreamcast, but not in the States.
Yes, that's what it was. You had to like import it.
Yeah, but it came out on the Xbox in the States, and I bought it because everyone said those games were so good, and I played through it, but I had like a guide the entire time, because it kept saying shit like, if you don't find this person by such and such a date, like, you're fucked. And I kept getting closer and closer to this date, and I'm like, I have no fucking idea what's going on. Like, I just don't know where they are, I don't know what to do. And then it was like, I just like looked it up, and it's like, yeah, go up the hill. And it's like, just because they dump you in this massive fucking city with no explanation. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, I guess there's this big cult following with Shenmue. I mean, people really want this crap.
Well, the thing with the Shenmue games is they were completely immersive open world games in a way that no one has even really done ever before.
I mean, at the time.
Well, they don't even do them
Dreamcast.
now. Like, you would walk around and be like, in the first one, the famous one is you walk around and ask people about where sailors hang out. And it's like, you do that because, like, you know that sailors have information about, like, these guys who killed your father. So, you're like, okay, and you just go around and go, hey, do you know where sailors hang out? And you keep doing it until you find someone who goes, yeah, they're at this bar. And the thing is, it's like, it would be like walking around a town now, even if you did live by a seaside, and go, hey, do you know where sailors hang out? It's like, Yeah, not a lot of people are going to be able to answer that fucking question.
Yeah.
So, even in this game, it's like, in the second game, you walked around, like, there were 2 cities. I remember walking around the first city, and you had to ask, like, because you stayed at this temple, and you had to ask where the temple was, because, like, you basically got dropped off this boat, and they're like, you were promised, like, free lodging at the temple or something, but you had no idea where the temple was, like, you didn't have a map of the town, and you had to walk around asking people, and it's like, yeah, can you imagine walking around, like, the city you live in and asking for this, like, one random church? It's like most of the people you ask would be like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like the Shenmue because there was all those... You could play, like, the arcade games and the
first
machines.
The first Shenmue game, you could go into people's houses and open individual drawers, and the things inside of every drawer would be aligned differently.
Yeah.
Like, every person would have different shit in different drawers. And it wasn't, like, generated that way. They had hired someone to make sure that it, like, made sense that, like, socks were in the sock drawer. And it just didn't look that way. It made sense, and it was like this living, breathing world that you were in.
This will be hilarious if Shenmue 3, it'll get made. I got no problem with that. I don't think it's not going to hit its goal or whatever. But it'll be hilarious if, like, Shenmue 3 comes out and everybody hates it. If it's like
hated Shenmue. The thing that a lot of people have forgotten is that people hated Shenmue 2. People hated especially the way Shenmue 2 ended. Because Shenmue was so grounded and based in reality. And Shenmue 2, the way it ended was basically like, oh yeah, magic. And it's like, wait, what? Like, you would be going through these, like, giant, massive, sprawling games, and all of a sudden it just goes, oh yeah, by the way, the reason you're doing all of this is, magic. And it's like...
Well, it'll be interesting to see where they, like, take the story from. I don't know. Because obviously everything has to connect. This is the third game.
Yeah. It will. I'm looking forward to it. That doesn't mean...
Were you going to back it or anything?
Actually, it was like one of the first times that I seriously considered backing a Shenmue product. Or, Kickstarter product. Because I was like, I know for a fact I'm going to buy this game, and I know for a fact that this game is going to probably come out like when they say it's going to. Mm-hmm. Because they just, at this point, can't not have this game come out.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it'll come out. It'll just be hilarious if the critics and the backers are like, you know what, this game sucks. I was actually wrong about Shenmue. Never mind, we were wrong this entire time.
Well, one of the funny things that I was actually reading was someone was bitching, and they're like, it's great that they have the director doing this, but is everyone aware that, like, the rest of the fucking team is working on Yakuza now?
Yeah.
Like, and I'm just like, oh yeah! I forgot that's why the Yakuza games are exactly like the Shenmue games.
Mm-hmm. And there's how many? There's what, 5?
6, counting Dead Souls.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. But so there's been a ton of those
7! Games. Because there's, like, the Yakuza, like, back in the day, like, ancient Japan one that never came to the States.
There's been a lot.
There's been a lot of Yakuza games, and those games are critically well accepted. Like, everyone loves the Yakuza games.
I think what they gave away was that maybe they gave away one of those for free during like one of the Xbox Live Game for Gold, or maybe that was, oh, maybe I'm thinking
It's
of
never been on an Xbox.
no, I'm thinking of not Watch Dogs, something dogs.
Sleeping Dogs.
Sleeping Dogs, yes, it was Sleeping Dogs. I kind of get those mixed up sometimes.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because people will randomly compare the Yakuza games and stuff and the Shenmue games to, what the fuck is it? Like Grand Theft Auto, and it's just like, those games could not be any more different.
Yeah.
They are.
I guess it's the Japanese version of Grand Theft Auto because that's probably as close as you're going to get.
It's nothing like fucking Grand Theft Auto. It's just because it's like even the fighting system itself is just so fucking intense. Like the random encounters that you have are fist fights, and it's like everything you do is just up close and personal. Like, so when you like beat someone's head in with a fucking sign, you know that it's like, you know, like you meant it. Yeah, it's not like there's no guns. Guns are so rare in the Yakuza games. Those games are so fucking good. I own all of them. I've only ever beaten the first one.
Because that's also Sega published, no?
I believe so, yeah.
They're Sega games.
See, you get me talking about Yakuza, I can go on. And the first one was the only one that was dubbed.
Didn't we stream one of those?
We've never streamed a Yakuza game.
No? I thought maybe we
If
did.
you want to, I have every Yakuza game that's been released in the States. Every Yakuza game that's been released in the States. I actually have a bunch of them that are still sealed because, like, I intend on playing through all of them.
Yeah.
But that's like one of the...
Save them for a rainy day.
Or when I'm on vacation.
Or we're on vacation next week.
Yeah, I severely doubt that. Fuck, I was unemployed for a substantial amount of time and I didn't get through them.
Yeah.
Next week I'm probably going to be playing that one game for preview and Final Fantasy XIV.
Oh, that's right, yeah, because that
the new expansion just came out.
Yeah. Have you played it yet or no?
The new expansion or Final Fantasy XIV?
No,
you have to be max level. You had to be max level for the last content. You had to beat like the story for the last stuff, and I hadn't done that yet.
So you're still trying to get through the old stuff.
I was still trying to get through the old stuff, but the plus side is that with so many people in the new content, it's easier to get through the old content now.
Is that with this one? You have to beat the game to play this
new one, yeah. Well, you don't have to. Like, there's like post game stuff that you can do, and I'm not going to like go back and like take out. I probably will at some point to say I did it, but
you were pretty far already. No, I mean you put a pretty good amount of time in there.
Yeah, I was actually getting very close to the end game. My goal was to hit max level before the expansion came out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know that you had to finish the story. And it turns out you do have to finish the story. I was trying to finish up the story quests and stuff too, but it just didn't end up working that way.
Yeah.
But oh well.
So for $5.
Yeah, this isn't it. No, I like these games. They're definitely they don't require a lot of processing power. So they'll run on your computer probably. So pick it up for $5 if you see it on the Steam sale again.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I really like the art style. That's what drawn me in and always made me curious. So
It's weird that your characters are 2D, but the enemies are 3D, though.
Yeah, it's a weird engine to,
Say the least.
Let's make really cool 2D sprites, but then put some 3D. I mean, the backgrounds, those are polygons, but
And like this chicken that I'm beating.
Yeah, it looks like a chocobo.
Yeah. I don't know, man. All right, but for this week, that's been Dan Gilman. You can find me on varms.net, my personal website. You can follow me on Twitter at Gilman, or always at MyGamer.com, where I write stuff and post all of the video things that we do.
Yep. And I am Zach Yazrowski, also MyGamer.com. Check that out. We post stuff there almost every day, just depending on how busy we are. My personal website is squallsnake.com, and you can follow me on Xbox on Squallsnake. And I'm on Twitter at ZachGaz, which is ZACKGAZ, and I'm sure we will be back next week, or maybe even this
Xbox
weekend.
handles now?
Well,
Are you
if
just
anybody
lonely?
Well, no, I mean, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, so you
really
just want people to power level you now.
I have no idea what the hell is going on, so yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll see everyone next week.
Game on.